Hello kids, you're welcome to class. In today's class, we'll be considering the following concepts: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, taking square root of numbers, as well as squaring numbers. Now, this is example 1. And in example 1, we have 3 examples in it. The very first one is a Y-shaped sketch having 3 numbers in it, which is 3, 2, and 5. Then the second one is 7, 5, and 24. Lastly is 11, 8, and 57. Now, let's solve for the values of the 3 parameters given to us in example 1, which is 3, 2, 5. Now, assuming 5, which is at this base, was not given, how do we get the 5? How do we get this 5? This is simply the simple solution. We have the 2 number at the top, which is 3. The 2 number at the top, which is 3. 3 square minus 2 square. And you know that 3 square means 3 times 3 minus 2 times 2, which is 2 square. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 2 times 2, which is what? 4. 9 minus 4 gives us 5. That's how we get the 5, which is at the what? The base of the Y. Assuming 2 was not given, how do we get our 2? How do we get our 2? Assuming 2 was not given. This is the simple solution. We have it as 3 square minus the 5, which is at the base of Y. And 3 square is 3 times 3, which is 9, minus 5. And 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. Now we've gotten 4. How do we get our 2? Because we are looking for what? For 2. For you to be able to get your 2, you have to take the square root of 4. And this is the sign for square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is equal to 2. That's how the 2 was gotten. Now, let's solve for 3. Assuming this 3 was not given, how do we get our 3? This is what we simply do. In place of 3, you replace what? You replace 3 with what? Assuming that you replace it with what? With x. You have it as x minus 2 square, which is the 2 at the top, is equal to the 5 at the base, which is the bottom, at the bottom of Y. Now, we have it as x minus 2 raised to power 2 or 2 square is equal to 2 times 2, which is 4, is equal to 5. Now we're looking for our what? Our x. You now have it as x is equal to 5. When this minus 4 crosses equality sign from the left hand side to the right hand side, becomes the minus sign changes from minus to plus, becomes plus 4. Our x will now be equal to what? 9. Now, and we are looking for 3. How do we get our 3? You simply take the square root of what? Taking square root of what? Of 9. And square root of 9 is equal to 3. That is how the 3 was also what? Gotten. I think with this explanation, example number 1 is clear to us all. Okay. Now, let's move to our next example. This example 2. We have 3 triangles with 4 numbers in each. The very first one here, in the first triangle, we have 3, 2, 5, and 25. The next one we have 7, 10, 3, and at the middle 51. And lastly we have 14, 26, 5, and 200 at the middle. Let's solve for the very first one, which is the triangle having 3, 2, 5, and 25. Assuming 25 was not given, that is 25, assuming 25 was not given, that is this 25 at the middle. 25 at the middle, assuming it was not given. How do we get it? Let's go to our board. We have it as, you add the 2 numbers at the top together, which is the 2 numbers at the top are 3. The 2 numbers at the top are 3 plus 2. And 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Then, that 5 you get by adding the 2 numbers at the top together, you multiply it by the number at the base, which is the number at the bottom, which is 5. And 5 times 5 give you what? 25. That's how the 25 is being gotten. Guess it's understood? Now, assuming 5 was not given, which is the 5 at the base, this 5 at the base, assuming 5 was not given, how do we go about it? What do we do? What's the logic? This is the simple logic. You have to add the 2 number at the top together, which is the 2 number at the top is 3 plus 2, and 3 plus 2 is equal to what? 5. Then you now bring out your number at the middle, which is 25. 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5. That's how the 5 at the base was gotten. Assuming these 2 on the right hand side was not given, how do you get how do we get our 2? There's a simple method of getting our 2. We have it as 25, which is the number at the middle of the triangle. 25 divided by the base number, which is 5, is equal to 5. Now, that 5 minus 3, which is on the left hand side, will now give us 2, which is the number that we were looking for. So the unknown 2 has now been gotten with this simple mathematical calculation. Now, assuming our 3 was not given, how do we get our 3? It's also as simple as it's also simple. Now, for us to be able to get our 3, we'll bring our 25, we divide our 25, which is the number at the middle. 25 divided by our base number, which is 5. 25 divided by 5 give us 5. Then 5 minus 2, which is the number on the right hand side, give us the unknown 3. So 3, which was initially unknown, was now what? Known to be what? 3. Having done the simple mathematical calculation. I guess that is clear. Now, that leads us to example 3. In example 3, you have a triangle as well, divided into 3 compartments. And in these 3 compartments are 3 numbers, which with one you can get the other. In mathematics, you are taught to be given 1 unknown and 2 known. That's how mathematics is being done. You are always asked to look for 1 unknown. So here, these are the 3 numbers, and we'll go look at how they are being gotten when 1 is not given. We have the very first one, which is the first triangle. We have 3 numbers, which is 8, 6, and 2. The next one we have 5, 1, and 4. And lastly, 20, 10. At the bottom we have 10. Now, let's take example for the very first one, which has the number 8, 6, and 2. Now, assuming 2 was not given, which is 2 at the base, these 2, assuming 2 was not given, what do we do? Let's go to our board. We have it as 8 minus 6. That is the 2 number at the top. And 8 minus 6 give us 2. That's how the 2 was gotten. Now, assuming 6 was not given. Assuming 6 was not given, how do we get our 6? We simply have it as 8, which is at the top, minus the 2 at the base. And 8 minus 2 gives us 6. That's how we get the 6 on the right hand side. Now, assuming 8 was not given, how do we get our 8? Assuming 8 was not given, you simply add 6, which is the number at the top, plus 2, which is at the bottom, gives us 8. So 6 plus 2 gives us what? 8. So that's how you solve to get the 3 numbers for this example. I guess it's well understood. Alright, that leads us straight to example 4. Example 4. Looking at this example 4, you have a rectangle with a number inside and 4 numbers surrounding its edges. We have 4 numbers surrounding the 4 angles, which is 5, 4, 3, and 2. Then the next one we have, the next rectangle inside we have 2, and the numbers surrounding the angles are 2, 3, 1, and 4. Now let's solve for the very first one, which has the number 5, 3, 2, 4, and 4 at the middle. Let's see how we'll solve for each and every one of them when it is not given. Now, assuming this 4 was not given, which is the 4 which is the 4 inside the rectangle. Assuming it wasn't given, how do you get the 4? That's a simple analogy. You simply have it as the 2 numbers on the left hand side, which is 5 plus 4, and 5 plus 4 gives us 9. Then the 2 numbers on the right hand side, we add them together, which is 3 plus 2, and 3 plus 2 gives us 5. Then you subtract 9 minus 5 will give us what? 4. That was how the 4 at the middle of that rectangle was gotten. Now, assuming 3 was not given, assuming this 3 was not given, what do we do? Assuming the 3 was not given, how do we get the 3? You simply add the 2 numbers on the left hand side together, which is 5 plus 4, which gives us 9. 5 plus 4 gives us 9. Then 9 minus the middle number, that is the number inside the rectangle, which is 4. 9 minus 4 gives us 5. Then 5 minus the base number at the right hand side, which is 2. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. This is just a simple solution for us to be able to get our what? Our 3. Assuming the 2 at the base was not given, how do we get our 2? Assuming 2 at the base was not given. You know originally that for us to get our 9 is 5, which is the two numbers at the left hand side, which is 5. For us to be able to get our, we are looking for 2 now, which is the base number. We have it as the two numbers at the left hand side, which is 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 gives us 9. Then 9 minus the number inside the rectangle, which is 4. 9 minus 4 gives us 5. Then 5 minus the number at the top right hand of the rectangle, which is 3. And 5 minus 3 gives us 2. That is how the 2 was gotten. Assuming this 5 on the left hand side was not given. Assuming 5 was not given, how do we get our 5? This is what we simply do. We have the two numbers on the right hand side, which is 3 and 2. You add them together. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Then the 5, that 5 plus the middle number, which is the number inside the rectangle, which is 4, is equal to 9. Then 9 minus the base number on the left hand side, which is 4. 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. That's how 5 was gotten. That's that. Now, assuming this 4 was not given, which is the 4 at the base of the left hand side of the rectangle. Assuming the 4 was not given, how do we go about it? This is what we simply do. We add up the two numbers on the right hand side, which is 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Then that 5 plus the number inside the rectangle, which is 4. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. Then 9 minus 5, which is the number at the top right hand, at the top left hand of the rectangle. 9 minus 5 gives us 4. So that's how we got all the numbers revolving around the rectangle, as well as the number inside the rectangle itself. I think we've come to the end of today's class. I guess you enjoyed the lecture. See you in our next class.